Well, hello, listening audience. Welcome to our mayor's Breaking It Down. And so today, not only do I have a guest host, we brought the daughter of Birmingham to sit in with me, Victoria Thompson, our director of grants and programs.
I love it.
Because today we are interviewing Mayor Randall Woodfin from the great city of Birmingham. So welcome.
Glad to be here, as always. Bill, it's good to see you.
We're so glad to see you also, because one thing is new for you this year than the last time we saw you was have two babies now. How old are the babies?
Love is 17 months, and Joy is 8 weeks old. So,
Not we sleep for you, hon.
team no sleep, actually. We are in the thick of it. The bassinet is on my side of the bed, and Love is teething. So the new baby, her name is Joy. So it's Love and Joy. But it's beautiful. I love it. I love fatherhood, probably more than anything else.
You know, they say it's harder to have girls than it.
I'm come back and check in with me a few years from now.
Right, right. All right, let's get that conversation started. And so, as a mayor of a predominantly Black city and increased scrutiny of Black leaders, how have you remained grounded in hope?
And I think one, I have this title of this book called the Son of Birmingham. I think just that though, as a son, there's some authenticity there because it's real. This is not some experiment that I am doing. I think when something's home, like my own home, I cherish it. I'm fully aware of my responsibility, and then you have to just be your authentic self. The scrutiny's always been high for Birmingham. Yeah, it's a tough city to govern. It's a tough city to lead. It's a historic city in the context of who we are as a country. But standing on the shoulders of all my predecessors, I'm well aware of what the moment calls for. And the short or one word is leadership. And so leadership comes with all the scrutiny you get. But you just have to stay grounded, your authentic self, and know what your vision and mission is.
Young Mayor, I am particularly happy about today's podcast because, of course, daughter of Birmingham, so super excited to have my mayor in the room with us today. But I want to ask you a very real question.
Yes.
What are the early signs of burnout that you have learned to recognize? And how do you work to prevent that as you're entering your 8th year being big?
It's a great question. First sign I realized was it was physical. Literally one day I woke up one day and couldn't turn my neck. Like I literally could not go right. It hurt to do this. It hurt to do all of this. And y'all, I went to see everybody I could. Chiropractor, massage therapist, someone, everybody. And then I sat down with this different doctor and he did a stress test. It was on a scale of 10. I was literally at like a 9. And the sign of burnout was that my body was physically telling me, hey, sit your butt down. I'm not going to let you move. Y'all, it was so painful. Like it was genuinely pain. And what I realized in that moment was that I have to physically take care of myself, but also mentally take care of myself, but also in every other vein, take care of myself. So what does that mean? I got a physical trainer. And these many years later, I still work out with my trainer. If I work out 4 or 5 days a week, he's working out with me at least 2-3 days a week minimum, to make sure I have an accountability part of my stay consistent, just physically take care of myself. Mentally, I think it's important that I read. And so I try to be very intentional about continuing to read books, but I have an interest in reading subjects that are not political. Third is emotionally. Now, emotional is chief O. Take care of home, make home a priority, husband, father, literally prioritize. People talk about balance. I don't know what balance is, but I do know what priorities are, and commitments are. So commit to home first, right? But within that, emotionally, don't bring stuff home. I learned that as a lawyer. I was a prosecutor and a defense attorney. But those were some hard days, and I now know why many of my colleagues in the legal community get burned out or substance abuse. I can see that, but I had this thing when I learned as a lawyer: do not bring his phone. You walk out of this courtroom, you pick it up the next day. So even as mayor, I've kept that. Do not bring the stuff home. Don't make it personal. Last thing I'll say, this is very important. And I don't mind bragging about her. My wife is actually more spiritually mature and spiritually grounded than I am. So having the ability to lean on her and like just kind of try to catch up to her campaign, it's been helpful. Those things help me not get burned out.
I'm glad you talk about stress because our friend was a neurosurgeon, and he said
Black babies are born with a stress level point. So they come out the womb already stressed.
I can believe that.
And then over time, the stress level increases based on their environment, all those things.
And so, can you imagine if you already came in at 1 and you get the scale of 1 to 10? It just increases over time. Very
Yeah. But there is one last thing about burnout. And if I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say this part. I can see why mayors micromanage. Oh, I'm going to just flat out tell you, micromanagement every time will lead to burnout. What I have learned is you have to recruit really good people around you. You can never stop recruiting good people around you, but most equally important, empowering the people around you. If you empower your people and have quality people around you, oh, it's going to help. Because then you get to like, let the leader lead. I'm the team lead, but I have leaders around me and they're also leading. And that is literally going to decrease the opportunity to burn out. Because you got other people doing the work, not just you.
And so you now serve the city that you're born and raised in. How has your upbringing shaped the way you connect with your residents?
So there it is. That is the secret sauce. I'm one of 4 children, but I also am reminded that my mom is one of 8. My dad is one of 6. So everybody talk about Big Mama house, but my mom's house was that house where all family came to. So no exaggeration to either of you, no lie to either of you. I talk about this all the time. But I grew up in a house that were never less than 8 people. So the key word is less than. Sometimes it meant it was more. All right. I'm serious. I'm serious. If you got out of prison as a family member, you came to our house. And if you were strung out on drugs, your kids came to our house. If a little one died and had children, you came and moved in with us. Like we were that home. My mom was that matriarch, if you would. Man, I learned at a very, very, very early age. People make decisions, people make choices, and it can be harmful or hurtful to them or others. But I watched my mom. It didn't matter the family member, male, female. It didn't matter the generation. Sometimes they were not kin or blood. She brought them in. It got a second chance. It gave them hope. Put food on the table. Roof over their head. Clothes on their back. I learned a lot of stuff from that. Help people. Forgive people. People deserve second chances. But really, really about like help people. In that same household, it was 4 generations. So I had a great grandmother who lived with us. Her name was Mary McGee. She lived to be 100 years old. She died my sophomore year at Morehouse. What I remember is that she'd moved in with us, and like either she was 90 or 91. I don't remember how old. She got blind from diabetes, and I was so she moved in with us. I was in middle school, and I remember having to not only help her around the house, but her favorite place, help her on the porch. Well, she would sit on the porch, and I would sit at her feet. And what that taught me is something very valuable that I apply as mayor. So not only helping people, but I shut up and all I did was listen. So I come into the position as a leader, as mayor, listening more than I talk. And what I learned from listening is that I can actually help better, understand better, and solve people's concerns, issues, wants, desires better, and meet them. Because I'm actually listening more than I'm talking as a leader. So I apply those things every day.
Well, Mary, you kind of already answered my next question. But could you go a little bit deeper to some of the lessons that you learned about that to be connected with the people that you serve?
Yeah. So I live in a city that is not only majority Black. I live in a city that is just everyday working people. I got my first job at age 15, bagging groceries. I used to walk to work. And what I know from the city I grew up in is that everyday people, man, you just got to meet them where they are. So for me, I come up out of the suit, I put the hoodie and the J's on, or the t-shirt and J's on, and I meet people where they are. I see a group of guys, young men chilling, I walk up, post up with them. It's not about me as mayor, this is what y'all should be doing. It's just getting to know them. Going back to that grocery store, though, I learned the fundamentals of what genuine customer service means. So I'm here to serve. So it doesn't matter who I meet them where they are, and I try to figure out a way, how can I help them? I don't want anything from them. I'm trying to figure out how the city can show up from them. I actually just genuinely love people too, though, so it makes it easy, right? It doesn't matter if it was a bag at a grocery store, a bellman at a hotel. I genuinely love people. And so it's easier for me to, like, this notion of putting people first, that's just not some tagline or slogan. That's just genuinely like who I am, but it's how I want our city and our team to show up too. Put our citizens and residents first, and then it all works out. So meet them where they are, on their porch, in their yard, on the corner, at a dollar store, at a concert, at a light, when I pull up in my old school car. It doesn't matter. Just meet them where they are.
I have to see you pull up in your old school car. Oh, wait, one question. Taylor Blades or was the Wayne Dix?
It's neither. It was a local chain. It had 14 stores called Western Supermarket. Yeah.
Okay, I think that was a little bit before my time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm old. You're young. It's cool. Our guys.
Season.
So how are you balancing fatherhood, husband, and then making sure that you keep those relationships as mayor also?
Yeah, so that's okay. That's a journey question, because I came into the position as a single male, not in a committed serious relationship, not married, and literally no children. So who I am today is very different from who I was when I first got into this position. But again, this notion of what is balance, or how do you balance things? Yeah, I'm also honest with both of you and your audience. I don't know what balance is, but again, I do know what commitments and priorities are. And then what I learned is, if I show up at home, and be the best husband I can be, if I show up at home and be the best father I can be, then it actually makes me a better leader in community, right? Because at home, it's doing those same things, listening, helping, being attentive, being present, spending quality time with the family. Those relationships also deserve time. But I don't mind telling them no. I want y'all to both know that. Like, I've used the word no more so in the last 18 months than I ever have in my life. Definitely more so than ever have since I've been mayor, but people respect that and understand that, right? Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, we know leaders who overcommit themselves, absent from home, and then there's a breakdown at home. I don't want that. You can do both, but I will tell any leader, prioritize home first, and I promise you it will make you a better leader in the community.
Well, mayors, now the people tell us that you are a lover of Southern rap.
Yeah.
We know that you support local artists in Birmingham.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you stay grounded with your love for music, especially rap? We want to know a little bit more about the fun side.
Yeah, so I picked up drumsticks in the 4th grade. And but I was a musical lover before then. I remember my parents having, not just cassette tapes, but they actually had vinyl records. And I would flip through and play with those vinyl records. It didn't matter if it was Michael Jackson or Luther Vandross or the Isley Brothers or the OJs or any of that. I grew up with music. But I also had an older brother named Ralph. He's passed away since, but 8 years older than me. When rap first came on the scene in the 80s, hardcore rap, like I was watching my brother trying to mimic it. So it didn't matter if it was NWA or EMPD, it didn't matter the coast. Fell in love with music right away. But then I picked up the drums, and what I know about music is whether you use a professional term of percussion or just straight regular language as like drums. Drums are going to lead, like percussion is going to lead music. And in today's time, even in 2026, production is leading the song. So for me, as a lover of music, it keeps me really, really grounded. but also very relatable to all the generations. So I incorporate it into communication. I incorporate it into interacting with different generations. All of us love music. Music is literally the soundtrack of our life. So I try to make it a soundtrack of how I govern as well.
So as we wrap up, there is one question I wanted to ask you because I've been around a long time, as you know.
And you're the first mayor that had a police chief come by just because of the way he looks.
Yeah, then yeah. He walked in the door and all the women were like, "Oh my God, how did you say the Birmingham police chief?" Were you expecting that? Like, how did you handle that?
No, I mean, but I get it, right? This quote, Mayor Bay, now you got a Chief Bay. So I get it. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him because when he became chief, he inherited the highest homicide rate the city had ever had since like 1933. And in 1 year, y'all, he's only been the chief 1 year. In 1 year, he got homicides down 44%. He got a clearance rate of almost 90%, meaning if you kill somebody, you were actually arrested. That's well above the national average of 50%. And so while the internet is all loving him and women all across the earth are loving him and willing to move to Birmingham, which by the way, y'all come to Birmingham. He's so focused on being a leader, being a cop, on hiring, recruiting, retention of officers, equipment, technology, and making sure families are safe. And he's definitely made our city safer in 1 year. So what I can say about him, he doesn't see that as a distraction. And even if it is, he's focused on the main thing. Proud of him.
I can't wait to meet. You should. I should.
We want to thank Mayor Woodfin, a great man of Appleside House, a Morehouse guy, and an attorney. How can you have all those things all the day? It wasn't that. It wasn't me.
It's all good.
All right. So thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you both.